Businesses and NGOs have a much higher or bigger role to play because the others are not really trusted in doing that. When you ask individuals, then 58% are choosing brands based on their values and their beliefs, so who the organization is and what they stand for. Investors are overall also take into consideration the values of the firms and what they stand for. And from an institutional investor perspective, the number is pretty high. The companies that are leading and that are transforming and that are not trying to continue to do the same as they did before, for them, they are huge opportunities that have financial impacts on themselves. The cost of capital is lower for organizations that are strong on ESG. The cost of equity is lower, and the cost of debt is lower. The part where there is wrong is to say that your expectation of your returns is what the purpose of the organization is. The purpose of the organization is to solve meaningful problems for people or for planet. And if you are able to do that efficiently and effectively, that is, you will return a profit. It is not okay to put shareholders at such a center that you can ignore everything else and you're taking the world over the cliff just because you said, oh, I just need to look at my shareholder. It is an existential role for boards and for directors and for management and so everybody in the organization to know what impact they're having and how they're transforming and creating that value. It is the responsibility of the administrators to determine what constitutes value for the organization. And they are clear that financial value is one of them. But they need to be clear that these other dimensions are also part of it and that they are accountable for the impact that they have on the environment. But all these external things are minimum things. You know, it doesn't say you are a greatly governed organization if you do what is legally required. No, that is, in order for you to exist, this is the minimum thing you need to do, right? And of course, if you want to be good, you need to do more than that. So being legally compliant is not a competitive advantage, okay? So it gives you also the possibility to extend your competitive advantage by having good practice as opposed to legal requirements. Purpose is at the center, and it is the primary governance principle. It is the primary thing what organizations need to do, and they do that by articulating a value generation model, by governing strategy, by exercising oversight, and by accountability. Their purpose is specifying basically which one of these dimensions are you creating for which stakeholders, okay? And in what way are you ensuring that you're not undermining the resource base that allows you and others to generate well-being in the future. The second part that boards need to deal with and that organizations need to deal with is to say not only what are we doing under the current weather conditions, but what are we doing in the future?